Okay, let's carry on now with hydrogen valleys in Europe, please. And before giving a speech to Patrick Knuben, we're going to watch a short video of what's going on in Netherlands.
As we proceed towards a climate-neutral 2050, we are reaching the point where we put theory into practice, especially when it comes to hydrogen. So far, European efforts concerning hydrogen have been individual initiatives for the most part. The time has come for an integrated approach, to gather our best ideas and put them to work in an actual region. The European Union has identified the Northern Netherlands as Hydrogen Valley. That's not surprising. In one ride, you'll find everything you need for a green, hydrogen-based economy. Sustainable energy sources, generation, storage, transport, as well as applications in industry and applications in mobility and our day-to-day environment. This time, the project partners are not researchers, they are makers. They will make the hydrogen economy flow. To achieve this, the project comprises of 4 clusters and will be realized by the end of 2025. With the region's green power converted to hydrogen, we will be working on storage and infrastructure, making hydrogen a raw material for our industry, turning hydrogen into heat and power for residential areas. And it will give us mobility, green mobility. This sectoral integration is rarely seen. We are doing it, right in this valley. We are progressing on some 30 sub-projects we have prepared over the past 2 years, hand in hand with public and private parties. We're working hard to set an example for Europe to follow. Hydrogen Valley.
So we get back to Patrick Knuben. So now it's time to explain what is a new energy coalition, how you organize, and how you try to work with other regions or countries in Europe.
Yes, thank you very much, Laurent. Well, a new energy coalition is a relatively recently established organization consisting of 3 merging parties, but our goal is to actually contribute substantially to the energy transition. And we were, let's say, we have a long history, because we're actually on top of the largest onshore gas field in Europe, the Groningen field, which has brought a lot of prosperity to the region, and also has been tapped on to bring, let's say, methane, so natural gas, to all different regions in Europe. But now we are going to step out of natural gas. So based on the principle that the region needs a business, we think that we can make our business from another molecule other than methane. We are going to look into the possibilities of hydrogen, and especially green hydrogen. And therefore we set up this project, and we are very proud and very thankful that the European Commission, and especially the FCHU, has seen that we have a very interesting integrated approach in which we try to combine all the projects. And I have to say the video gives an indication on how we approach things. And looking at that project, it's 31 parties, I think 30 projects, and a total investment volume of approximately 90 million euros, going to 100 million euros. And we receive a contribution for that from the EU and the state and the region to make the industries take the step, because it's an initiating model. But the interesting thing is, as I said, this project is about 90 million euros. Now, the industries in the region have collected themselves and prepared a step up from that. And that's about 8 billion euros investment program in the region, aiming to decarbonize and to defossilize industry, and taking along on the path mobility and the built environment. So it's nucleating interest, it's nucleating activation of the industry. And on the other hand side, we try to share our knowledge and share our experiences to, let's say, the hydrogen community in Europe and outside Europe. And that we are doing through the idea of connecting to other regions who want to be hydrogen valleys. And indeed, hydrogen valleys may seem relatively small, but if you have 30 or more in Europe, it's beginning to get somewhere. And the idea behind it is to also stimulate regions in stepping in. It's not only about hydrogen valley, it's about the big picture. It's about what we are going to do next. And this is what we achieved until now, and the project is running quite smoothly, I have to say. It's not always a pleasure to manage 31 parties, you can imagine. It's a day job, but it gains a lot of interest from politicians, but also from industry and from Brussels and from banks. So the prophecy is fulfilling itself. It's starting, and very important is in our respect. We want to have public acceptance. You have to explain what you're doing. You have to explain what you're going to do with the hydrogen. Otherwise, if you miss that, there will be some, let's say, unclarity. And of course, the region is full of energy, and we try to facilitate that. But there's another thing. It's not only about designing and constructing the installations and getting this hydrogen economy rolling. It's also about, you can build it, but you also have to maintain it. So we have educational programs from the vocational level to academic level to have young people and elderly people as well experience hydrogen so that they can be upskilled and reskilled, because we need to be prepared for this new future. And we are not there yet, because, you know, there's always something coming along which you think, well, why didn't we think of that? But in general, I think we are also reaching out to other regions, also in France and in Spain and in Germany and in Denmark, to connect. It's all about also gathering and exchanging knowledge and experiences, because it's not always a cakewalk. There are things which could go better. There are things which, well, are going well. So we need to share our experiences. And so what we've tried to do here, and which we're actually doing, is by this identification that this is a hydrogen valley approach, we see that other regions are coming to visit us and actually want to see how we do things, and we want to share it, because otherwise it doesn't work. And then it gradually grows, and that's our approach. But we are, let's say, quite proud that we have received this title, if you will, and of course the funding to do it. But if you look at what it has resulted in this next step to a region which is going to have an investment plan of 8 billion euros, and of course we need to tap on the North Sea, and we need to import hydrogen, because the energy hunger of Europe is larger than we can produce solely on the North Sea or solely in other places. So we need to reconstruct our energy system, our renewable energy system, and that's what we are doing. And we hope to, let's say, also to exchange our knowledge, but also gain experiences from other regions, because we're not alone.
Thank you, Patrick. Any comment in the panel?
Yeah.
François, yes, please.
François speaking. Yeah, that's let's say that's very close to what I mentioned, that what is growing in the Burgundy-Franche-Comté region, I think, because we have several, let's say, projects emerging from several cities in the region, all gathered together by the region, which is very active, and connecting and building, let's say, large ecosystem with several players, several hydrogen producers, showing that at a rather large scale, merging local transportation, industrial needs, and so on, you can have quite a big system emerging from the, let's say, local needs and local initiatives. And I think that's a good combinations. Even if Thierry don't like the valleys, I think that very, 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 let's say, It's a pragmatic approach. You have the problems, you have the consumers, you have all the funding units, you have the political will that can go directly to something that is concrete and that grows rapidly. And I think that's what is the low carbon and green hydrogen economy today. So I thank you, Patrick, for the demonstration.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see with Bruno Jamet from Cluster Vehicle of the Future if we have any questions. Bruno,
yes, this question is about all the hydrogen that will be produced in the Netherlands. How will this be stored? It will be stored underground storage or gas network?
Well, these are, let's say, it's a very good question, and let me be clear. We are not the whole Netherlands. We are, let's say, one part of the Netherlands, comprising of 3 provinces, approximately, I think, 20 to 25% of the land mass. So we are a fairly large portion of it. But the hydrogen produced is going to be green. In the project will be full green. It's a challenge, but we'll get there. And the storage will be in on the ground salt caverns. We have, let's say, vast cavern, places where the hydrogen can be stored in sufficient volume, as it is done now with natural gas. And there are other things going on, because we are also, let's say, the origin of the hydrogen backbone, because we are going to refurbish. The parties are going to refurbish the existing natural gas pipelines to bring the hydrogen to the user centers in the Netherlands and outside of the Netherlands.